If you or a loved one have been exposed to per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, commonly referred to as PFAS or forever chemicals, you may have questions about their impact on your health, the scientific evidence surrounding exposure, and your legal options. Today, we will address frequently asked questions about PFAS contamination, particularly in Michigan, and the potential for legal recourse. What are PFAS chemicals? PFAS, or per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, constitute a large class of synthetic organofluorine compounds. These chemicals are widely utilized for their resistance to heat, water, grease, and are found in a range of products including nonstick cookware, waterproof clothing, aqueous film-forming foams, otherwise known as AFs, and certain food packaging materials. Due to their high chemical stability and bioaccumulative properties, PFAS are persistent in the environment and the human body, which have raised significant environmental and public health concerns. Michigan has been a focal point in addressing PFAS contamination due to high-profile cases involving industrial discharge and contaminated water systems across our state, particularly in areas like Oscoda, Rockford, Parchment, as well as in West Michigan, including Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo. There are PFAS problems all over our state, including, of course, Southeast Michigan and Detroit. What health problems are linked to PFAS exposure? Peer-reviewed research has established associations between PFAS exposure and adverse health outcomes. These include carcinogenic effects such as kidney, testicular, liver, thyroid cancer, also ulcerative colitis. All of this has been linked back to exposure to PFAS. In Michigan, studies have focused on communities affected by contaminated drinking water, particularly in areas in West Michigan, like Parchment and Oscoda near the former Wurtsmith Air Force Base, Plainfield Township, parts of West Michigan, including Grand Rapids, where elevated PFAS levels have been detected. These are also not, sadly, the only areas impacted by PFAS contamination. PFAS contamination touches almost every area of our state, including, of course, Southeast Michigan and Detroit. How do I know if I've been exposed to PFAS? PFAS exposure typically occurs through contaminated drinking water, the ingestion of bioaccumulated PFAS in food sources, occupational exposure, or proximity to industrial facilities that manufacture or use PFAS-containing products. Michigan residents may be at risk if they live near identified contamination sites, including former tannery locations like those in Rockford, military bases as the former Wurtsmith Air Force Base in Oscoda, or areas impacted by industrial discharge. There are facilities in Midland, Michigan that qualify for that. Other West Michigan areas, including parts of Kent County and Kalamazoo County, have also reported PFAS contamination in municipal water supplies and private wells. Southeast Michigan and Detroit have many locations, unfortunately, where PFAS contamination exists. The Michigan PFAS Action Response Team, otherwise known as MPART, provides resources and testing information to help residents determine their exposure levels. What specific scientific research links PFAS to cancer? Numerous scientific studies have investigated the link between PFAS exposure and cancer. For example, research published in the Environmental Health Perspectives Journal and other peer-reviewed sources have confirmed associations between certain PFAS compounds, such as PFOA and PFOS, and kidney and testicular cancers. Animal studies have also demonstrated tumor formation with prolonged PFAS exposure, providing further evidence of its carcinogenic potential. The C8 Science Panel, which studied the effects of PFOA exposure in communities near DuPont's Washington Works plant, identified probable links to kidney cancer, testicular cancer, and several other conditions. If you live in an area contaminated by PFAS in Michigan, understanding this research can be critical to assessing your risk. What does the EPA say about PFAS contamination? The Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, has taken significant steps to address PFAS contamination and its risks. In 2021, the EPA announced its PFAS Strategic Roadmap, outlining a comprehensive plan to restrict PFAS releases, monitor contamination, and remediate impacted sites. The agency has also issued health advisories for PFAS chemicals like PFOA and PFOS, suggesting that even trace amounts in drinking water, small amounts, can pose huge health risks. Additionally, the EPA has proposed designating certain PFAS as hazardous substances under the Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation and Liability Act, commonly known, of course, as Superfund. This designation could expedite cleanup efforts and hold polluters accountable in Michigan. For Michigan residents, these policies provide critical regulatory support as communities across Michigan deal with legacy contamination from industrial sources and firefighting foams. What is the current status of PFAS litigation in Michigan and nationally? Nationally, the United States District Court for the District of South Carolina oversees a multi-district litigation, or an MDL, consolidating thousands of cases related to PFAS contamination. This MDL has facilitated several substantial settlements, including agreements with major manufacturers to address contamination in municipal water systems. Here in Michigan, the state has been proactive in addressing PFAS contamination. In January of 2023, Attorney General Dana Nessel announced a landmark settlement with defendants, marking the state's first settlement in a series of PFAS lawsuits. Additionally, Michigan has pursued legal actions against other companies such as FKI Hardware and Domtar Industries for alleged PFAS pollution at multiple sites, including contamination hotspots in West Michigan. We believe that litigation involving individual claims on behalf of people who were exposed to PFAS contamination and who were diagnosed with kidney, testicular, liver, or thyroid cancer, or ulcerative colitis might provide an opportunity to hold PFAS polluters accountable. The same defendants that paid billions of dollars to municipalities to clean up the toxic pollution they caused may now have to pay individuals they harmed. PFAS litigation is continually and fast evolving, with new cases and settlements emerging as awareness and regulatory scrutiny increases. Staying informed about these developments can help affected individuals understand their legal options and the broader context of PFAS-related issues. Contact us for a free consultation. Get the Bernstein Advantage and get the money and justice you deserve. Do I need to pay upfront for legal help? No, you do not need to pay any fee up front. For over half a century, we've operated on a contingency fee basis. This structure ensures that clients do not bear any financial burden up front. Our firm only receives compensation upon successfully resolving your case. We call this the no-fee guarantee. We don't get paid until we win your PFAS case. What kind of compensation could I receive? Compensation in PFAS-related litigation typically seeks to address both economic and non-economic damages. Potential recoveries may include reimbursement for medical expenses, compensation for lost wages, monetary redress for pain and suffering, and funding for ongoing medical monitoring. In Michigan, cases have focused on residents exposed through municipal water systems, with settlements addressing long-term health impacts and environmental remediation. How long do I have to file a claim? Statutes of limitations for PFAS litigation vary by jurisdiction and are influenced by factors such as the discovery date of the contamination or the illness. In Michigan, the statute of limitations generally allows for claims to be filed within 3 years of discovering the harm. Federal law may permit longer statutes of limitation for PFAS claims. The application of statutes of limitation in PFAS claims is really complex, so contact us for a free consultation to determine the timeline relevant to your claim. But call us now, because if you miss the deadline relevant to your claim, you will forever be barred from pursuing a claim, however meritorious it might be. We are committed to leveraging scientific expertise and legal advocacy to seek justice for those impacted by PFAS contamination. Michigan residents deserve accountability for the contamination affecting their communities. Time is of the essence. Call Sam and get the answers and help you need. That's the Bernstein Advantage. Call 1-800-CALL-SAM or visit callsam.com. Together, we can hold PFAS manufacturers accountable for their actions.